Okay, here's a little audio and visual abstract, if you will, about the article written by Thomas Chansney on Wikipedia. The title of it is an empirical examination of the Wikipedia credibility. It states, since at any point in time, by Wikipedia's own admission, an article may contain error, this calls into question the accuracy of the entire article. This is something that's been going through, people talk about all the time. Can we really trust what's on Wikipedia? And it was kind of interesting to see that somebody had done it. I'd like to point out that the modifications, when and where and by who, are usually, you could look them up if you'd like to, and do a little bit more study on that. The study shows, it's a short study, examines Wikipedia's credibility by asking 258 researchers and staff to respond. Now, only 21% respond, which should probably be noted. After reading their assigned articles, all respondents were asked to complete the same online questionnaire which measures the article's credibility and the writer's credibility. So those are the two things that they're really honing in on. They say that the study measures the credibility of the site, the authors who contribute to the site, and the articles they write. And so they're looking at it from multiple perspectives, and they designed it from this way. And the responses for the author, article, site credibility, and cynicism of the respondents under each condition. That's the point I kind of want to draw about this, about the cynicism. I like the fact that they somehow put that in there, because this makes the article be a little bit more than about Wikipedia, and a little bit more about the sociology of groups of people, particularly layman's versus academia, if you will. How cynical, although we are talking academia all the way around, so we have the same base of people. They're all researchers. The question really came down to, is the article about something in their field or not in their field? So let's keep that in mind, that we're not talking about the layman McDonald flipper, but researchers. But it's still watching the cynicism and what happens with it. How cynical each respondent was towards information on the internet was assessed with 5 items taken from Metzger's 2003. Respondents stated whether they, A, checked to see the author's, who the author of the website is, B, checked to see if the information is current, C, seek out other sources to validate the information found online, D, considered whether the information is opinion or fact, and E, check to see if the information is complete and comprehensive. So how much scholarly background did they do to actually cite the check to their sources? And what's really interesting, check this out, the result shows no significant difference between the mean responses under the 2 conditions when assessing the writer's credibility and the site Wikipedia's credibility. In other words, when they checked it out, they really kind of agreed. The expert rated the articles as being more credible than the non-experts. Now think about what this implies. If they knew something about the field, they were saying, yeah, that's pretty right on. If they didn't know something about the field and they were being a little bit cynical, saying, well, how could it be smart? It's coming out of Wikipedia. They were saying no. In other words, they're preconceived ideas, or they were anchored in the idea that Wikipedia is a non-credible source, which I kind of agree that it could be considered a non-credible source. So anyways, it may be the case that non-experts are more cynical about the information outside of their own field, and the difference comes from the neutral reaction to rate unfamiliar articles as being less credible. In other words, if they didn't know anything, they didn't want to look like they were fools, and they said, oh, it can't be credible. However, it should be noted that this cynicism was self-reported, and there may be bias with people wanting to appear more cynical than, in fact, they are. We like to think we're smart, don't we? Having dismissed this as an explanation, that leaves the conclusion that the experts found Wikipedia articles more credible than non-experts. And at the end of the article, they do make the statement this results may be some cause for cheer for advocates of Wikipedia, but it should be taken into consideration. It was a small amount of people that they surveyed. So the article definitely enlightened me, and I feel a little bit better about using Wikipedia as a beginning source. I still don't believe that it's scholarly, and I would like to cite them. But if I'm looking for a general idea of what something means, and I'm not actually needing to cite it, I feel more than comfortable looking it up on Wikipedia. And if I feel uncomfortable, you just continue to search further. So those are my ideas.